There are luxury cars, and then there are cars that redefine what luxury is supposed to feel like. The 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class belongs in that second category. This is not simply a more expensive S-Class. It is Mercedes-Benz taking one of the most prestigious luxury sedans on the planet and pushing it toward an entirely different level of exclusivity, comfort, technology, and presence. A car designed not merely to transport you from one destination to another, but to make the journey itself feel like the destination. And when you look at where Mercedes-Benz is taking the S-Class for this new era, the future becomes seriously interesting. The latest S-Class has already received one of the most comprehensive updates in its generation, with Mercedes-Benz saying that more than half of the vehicle has been newly developed, updated, or refined. That includes a new digital architecture built around MB.OS, the latest generation of MBUX, advanced driver assistance, upgraded lighting technology, refined suspension systems, and an even more sophisticated rear seat experience. Now imagine all of that philosophy translated into a Mercedes-Maybach. That is where things get fascinating. The Maybach name has always represented the highest level of Mercedes-Benz luxury. It is about the details that ordinary luxury cars simply cannot deliver. The extra space, the extraordinary materials, the rear seat experience, the craftsmanship, the silence, the sense that every component has been designed around one question. How can this journey become even more effortless? And the 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class takes that philosophy into a new chapter. From the outside, the first thing you notice is presence. The proportions are unmistakably S-Class, but the Maybach treatment gives the car a completely different personality. The long body, stretched silhouette, enormous rear doors, sculpted surfaces, and elegant roofline create an impression of movement even when the vehicle is standing still. This is not aggressive design for the sake of aggression. Maybach does not need to shout. It has the confidence to whisper. The front fascia is dominated by the unmistakable Maybach identity. Expect an imposing grille treatment, sophisticated chrome detailing, an upright visual character, and lighting technology designed to make the car immediately recognizable at night. Mercedes-Benz has already introduced major lighting improvements on the latest S-Class, including next-generation digital light technology with micro-LED hardware and a significantly larger high-resolution illumination field. Mercedes says the new system can provide a high beam reach of up to approximately 600 meters under the right conditions. On a Maybach, technology like this becomes more than a functional feature. It becomes part of the theater. As the vehicle approaches, the lighting signature creates a visual introduction before you even see the bodywork clearly. The grille catches the ambient light. The hood rises elegantly toward the windshield. The body surfaces reflect the surrounding environment. And then the entire vehicle appears to move forward almost silently. That is the Maybach experience. It is dramatic without being desperate for attention. And the details become even more important when you move closer. The wheels are enormous, but they are designed around elegance rather than a sporty attitude. Intricate multi-spoke designs, polished finishes, and carefully integrated proportions give the Maybach a sense of jewelry on wheels. Every surface is supposed to look expensive. Every line is supposed to look deliberate. And every element should communicate that this is not an ordinary S-Class. The Maybach identity becomes especially obvious in the way the car is personalized. Mercedes-Benz has continued expanding its manufacturer philosophy, offering extraordinary combinations of exterior colors, interior materials, trim finishes, and bespoke details. On the broader S-Class range, Mercedes-Benz says customers can access more than 150 exterior colors and more than 400 interior colors through manufacturer made-to-measure. For a Maybach customer, personalization is not simply about choosing a color. It is about creating an automobile that feels like it belongs to one person. You can imagine deep metallic paint, two-tone finishes, warm champagne tones, rich black, elegant white, dark blue, or highly individualized combinations. Inside, the possibilities become even more extravagant. Because this is where the Maybach really separates itself. The cabin is not merely a cockpit. It is a private environment. Step inside, and the entire philosophy changes. The driver receives an extraordinary level of technology, but the passenger in the rear receives something even more important: control over the experience. The rear cabin is where the Maybach S-Class truly makes its argument. This car is designed for people who may spend as much time being driven as they do driving themselves. That means rear seat comfort is not an afterthought. It is the center of the experience. The seats are designed to feel closer to luxury furniture than conventional automotive seating. Depending on configuration, passengers can expect extensive adjustment, heating, ventilation, massage functions, premium upholstery, and carefully engineered support for long journeys. The goal is not simply to make the seat soft. The goal is to make you forget that you are sitting in a car. Your legs can stretch out. Your surroundings become quiet. The windows can be shaded. The climate can be personalized. Lighting can transform the atmosphere. Entertainment can be brought directly in front of you. And then there is the technology. The latest S-Class introduces Mercedes-Benz new MB.OS architecture, essentially transforming the vehicle into a sophisticated computing platform. The system connects assistance, infotainment, navigation, comfort functions, and vehicle systems into a much more integrated digital ecosystem. This is a major change in philosophy. Instead of treating technology as separate screens and isolated functions, Mercedes is building the car around a central software architecture. The fourth-generation MBUX system is part of that transition. The latest S-Class integrates AI-based conversational capabilities, including technologies from partners such as Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI's GPT-4o, depending on market and feature availability. That means the relationship between driver and vehicle is becoming much more natural. Instead of memorizing exact commands, you can speak more naturally. Ask for directions. Ask about the weather. Change vehicle settings. Find information. Interact with the system conversationally. And the Maybach takes that digital experience into the rear compartment. Imagine settling into the rear seat and controlling lighting, climate, seat functions, window shades, entertainment, and other vehicle settings without reaching toward the front. That is exactly what luxury should be about. Reducing effort. The latest S-Class also offers a new rear seat entertainment environment with large displays, detachable MBUX remote controls, and integrated cameras designed to support video conferencing through services such as Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or WebEx, depending on market availability. That transforms the rear compartment into something very different. It can be a lounge. It can be an office. It can be a private cinema. Or it can simply be the quietest place you have been all day. And sound is another major part of that experience. The Maybach philosophy demands an extraordinary acoustic environment. The outside world needs to disappear. Engine noise needs to become distant. Road imperfections need to be isolated. Wind noise needs to be minimized. And then, once the cabin becomes quiet, the sound system can take over. Mercedes-Benz offers advanced Burmester audio systems on the S-Class, including 3D and high-end 4D configurations with immersive audio technology and Dolby Atmos capability. In a Maybach, that creates an environment where music does not simply play. It surrounds you. You can sit in the rear, close your eyes, and experience the cabin almost like a private listening room. But technology alone cannot create a Maybach. The materials have to do their part. This is where Mercedes-Benz can turn an already impressive S-Class interior into something far more personal. Fine leather, open-pore wood, metal accents, soft-touch surfaces, intricate stitching, ambient illumination, decorative trim. Everything is carefully combined to create a visual environment that feels more like a luxury suite than a traditional automobile. And then there is one of the most important characteristics of all: silence. A Maybach should feel almost disconnected from the road. That is why suspension technology is so important. The latest S-Class uses airmatic air suspension as standard in many configurations, with e-active body control available depending on specification. These systems are designed to continuously manage the relationship between the body and the road. Mercedes has also introduced intelligent damping technology that can anticipate certain road features, including longer speed bumps, using vehicle sensors and information shared through Mercedes-Benz intelligent cloud infrastructure. The idea is fascinating. The car can effectively prepare itself for certain road conditions rather than simply reacting after the road has already disturbed the passengers. And that is exactly the type of technology you expect in a Maybach. The best luxury technology is often technology you barely notice. You do not want the suspension to announce what it is doing. You simply want to arrive feeling relaxed. Rear axle steering adds another layer to the driving experience. Despite the enormous dimensions of the S-Class, rear-wheel steering can make the vehicle feel significantly more manageable at lower speeds, while improving stability at higher speeds. Mercedes says the latest S-Class can be equipped with rear axle steering of up to 10 degrees, reducing the turning circle substantially in long wheelbase configurations. For a car this large, that is more than a technical specification. It is everyday usability. A Maybach should be enormous when you look at it, but it should not feel enormous when you drive it. Under the hood, the philosophy is equally interesting. Mercedes-Benz has continued developing electrified combustion powertrains for the latest S-Class, with refined 6-cylinder and V8 engines, as well as plug-in hybrid technology. The updated S584 Matic, for example, uses a revised V8 with mild hybrid assistance, and Mercedes-Benz lists output at 395 kilowatts, or 537 horsepower, and 750 newton-meters of torque for the long wheelbase version. But the Maybach philosophy is not simply about maximum horsepower. It is about effortless power. That distinction matters. A sports sedan wants you to feel the acceleration. A Maybach wants acceleration to feel inevitable. You press the accelerator, the vehicle gathers speed, and the entire process happens with a level of calm that makes the performance almost invisible. That is real luxury. No drama, no hesitation, no strain, just effortless movement. And when the road becomes more demanding, the car's electronic systems are constantly working behind the scenes. The latest S-Class features an extensive suite of assistance technologies supported by cameras, radar, ultrasonic sensors, and high-performance computing. Mercedes-Benz says its latest architecture uses 10 external cameras, 5 radar sensors, and 12 ultrasonic sensors to support its assistance systems. The result is a vehicle capable of monitoring an enormous amount of information around it. Distance, lane markings, traffic, obstacles, other vehicles, road geometry, parking environments, and more. Systems such as Distronic with steering assist, lane change assist, evasive steering assistance, and advanced parking assistance can reduce the workload in many driving situations. But there is an important distinction. These systems are designed to assist the driver. They do not turn the Maybach into a vehicle that can simply be ignored. The driver remains responsible. That balance between technology and human control is essential for a car like this. Because the Maybach is not trying to replace the human experience. It is trying to improve it. And then there is safety. For decades, the S-Class has served as a technological showcase for Mercedes-Benz safety engineering. The latest generation continues that tradition with sophisticated restraint systems, airbags, PRE-safe technology, and advanced collision avoidance systems. Mercedes-Benz says the latest S-Class can offer up to 15 airbags depending on configuration and market, including advanced protection technologies for rear passengers. That is important because luxury is meaningless if it cannot provide protection. The Maybach combines comfort and security in a way that few vehicles can match. And for customers who require an even higher level of protection, Mercedes-Benz also produces the S680 Guard 4 Matic, which carries certified VR10 ballistic protection. That is an entirely different mission, but it demonstrates just how far Mercedes-Benz can take the S-Class platform when maximum protection is required. For the ordinary Maybach customer, however, the goal is different. The goal is to create the ultimate luxury sedan. And that brings us to the biggest question. What will make the 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class different? The answer may not be a single revolutionary feature. It may be the combination. A more intelligent digital architecture, more advanced AI interaction, even more personalized rear seat technology, more sophisticated lighting, improved ride comfort, refined electrified powertrains, advanced driver assistance, greater customization, and a stronger connection between software and the physical experience. The future of luxury is becoming less about adding more buttons and more about making the vehicle understand what you want before you ask. Imagine approaching your Maybach after a long day. The car recognizes you. The lighting welcomes you. The cabin temperature is already prepared. Your preferred seat position is selected. Your favorite music begins. The rear compartment is configured exactly the way you like it. The navigation system already knows where you are going. The vehicle adjusts its systems around your preferences, and the entire process happens without you having to think about it. That is the future Mercedes-Benz is moving toward, and Maybach is arguably the perfect place to showcase it. But there is another side to this car that numbers cannot describe. Presence. A Maybach has a unique psychological effect. You see one arrive at a hotel, and the environment changes. You see it pull up outside a luxury residence, and it looks completely natural. You see it moving silently through a city at night, and it seems almost detached from ordinary traffic. It is not trying to compete with sports cars. It is not trying to look like an SUV. It is not trying to become a performance machine. It occupies its own category, ultra-luxury transportation. And that is why the biggest competitors are not simply other sedans. The Maybach has to compete with the very best from Bentley, Rolls-Royce, BMW, and other ultra-premium manufacturers. But Mercedes has one enormous advantage. The S-Class has always been positioned as a technological flagship, and Maybach takes that technological foundation and surrounds it with craftsmanship and exclusivity. That combination is powerful. A Rolls-Royce may focus more heavily on handcrafted exclusivity. A Bentley may emphasize performance and grand touring character. A BMW 7 Series may offer an extraordinary technology package. But the Maybach sits in a fascinating middle ground. It combines cutting-edge technology with old-world luxury. It can be futuristic without becoming cold. It can be extravagant without becoming cartoonish. It can be powerful without feeling aggressive. And it can be enormous without feeling difficult to operate. That balance is the real achievement. Of course, there are trade-offs. A vehicle this sophisticated will not be inexpensive. And as the technology becomes more advanced, complexity also increases. There will be more sensors, more software, more electronic systems, more features, more components designed to work together. That means ownership will be a premium experience in every sense of the word. But that is exactly what Maybach customers are buying into. They are not purchasing transportation. They are purchasing time. Time spent working in the rear seat. Time spent relaxing. Time spent arriving at a destination without feeling exhausted. Time spent enjoying a quiet cabin while the outside world continues moving. And perhaps that is the most important thing about the 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class. It represents a changing definition of luxury. In the past, luxury meant more leather, more chrome, more power, and more space. Today, luxury increasingly means personalization, intelligence, silence, comfort, and effortless control. The best luxury product is the one that removes friction from your life. And the Maybach S-Class is designed around exactly that principle. It does not need to scream. It does not need to chase lap times. It does not need to prove anything. It simply needs to make every journey feel exceptional. And if Mercedes-Benz continues combining the latest S-Class technology with Maybach craftsmanship, the 2027 model could become one of the most compelling ultra-luxury sedans of its era. The exterior will command attention. The cabin will surround passengers with craftsmanship. The technology will make interaction more natural. The suspension will isolate occupants from the road. The powertrain will deliver effortless acceleration. The assistance systems will reduce the workload. And the rear compartment will remain the true heart of the vehicle. This is a car built around one simple idea. You should never have to compromise between technology and luxury. You should be able to have both. And that is what makes the Mercedes-Maybach S-Class so fascinating. It is not simply trying to be the most expensive version of an S-Class. It is trying to redefine what an S-Class can become when money, technology, engineering, and craftsmanship are pushed toward the same goal. Ultimate comfort, ultimate presence, ultimate personalization, ultimate refinement. The 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class is therefore more than another luxury sedan. It is a statement about where automotive luxury is going. A future where the car becomes more intelligent, but the experience becomes simpler. A future where technology works quietly in the background. A future where the rear seat becomes an office, a lounge, a cinema, and a private sanctuary. A future where performance does not need to be dramatic. And a future where arriving at your destination is almost secondary to how you feel when you get there. That is the Maybach philosophy. And if Mercedes-Benz gets this next chapter right, the 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class will not simply be another flagship luxury sedan. It will be a moving definition of first class. a private lounge on four wheels, a technological showcase, a rolling masterpiece of craftsmanship, and perhaps most importantly, a reminder that true luxury is not about having more. It is about needing less effort to enjoy everything. The road becomes quieter, the cabin becomes calmer, the technology becomes smarter, the journey becomes easier, and you simply sit back. Because in a Maybach, the destination has never been the entire point. The journey is the luxury.